This is NDTV. And you're watching NDTV Hindu.
After a death threat finds its way into Karunanidhi's inbox, the Central Crime Branch takes charge. The black cats are on their guard.
Given that letter to the CCB, they are taking up an investigation for that case.
As the ruling DMK steps on the accelerator for the long-awaited Legislative Council, the opposition parties cry foul. Parents bring on criminal charges to the table to take down the violating schools in the city. They seek a clean system of fee structure. Vaiko says the Swagatham to the Lankan President Mahinda for the Commonwealth Games is an insult to the Tamils. Karunanidhi lifts the spirits of the long-smitten TASMAC employees. He announces a 20% bonus ahead of Deepavali. Jayalalitha is now the voice of the NLC contract workers. She ridicules the DMK regime, calling it anti-labour. And when heroes turn ad kings and queens, the incoming mullah is big and smiling. Hello and welcome to the late night news on NDTV Hindu. I'm Evelyn Matthew. Let's take a look at what's making news in the rest of the country. A breather for the Yediyurappa government. The Karnataka High Court reserves its judgment on the disqualification of rebel MLAs. The governor tells Yediyurappa to take the trust vote again and prove his majority on the 14th, but the BJP accuses him of bias. The Indian shooters take India to its highest ever gold total of 31, while the men in blue in the hockey contingent prove that they can chuck the. India is perched on top at the end of day 4 of the Aussie test. The Aussies have 3 tail enders to save them. 4 elephants die in 5 days near the Kaziranga National Park. Poisoning is suspected to be one of the reasons. And the centre gives BlackBerry an early Christmas present. The deadline to provide full access to all of its services is extended to the 31st of December. They are 2 of the most protected leaders in Tamil Nadu. But if Amma gets 10 death threats, then can Kalaignar be far behind? The Central Crime Branch of the Chennai Police has started its investigation into Monday's email threatening to kill the Chief Minister. Ms. Jayalalitha's threats are being probed by the CBI. No one really knows who is behind these threats, but observers wonder if all this is just mischief or part of the dirty games politicians play. Our crime reporter Salim has more.
Amma and Kalaignar, you have got mail addressed to them, but now a headache for the men guarding them. An unfazed AIADMK chief Jayalalitha has decided to go ahead with her Madurai rally next week, ignoring the 10 threat letters which the CBI is now investigating. Her arch-rival and the Tamil Nadu Chief Minister has his crime ban sleuths in hot pursuit of the sender of an email threat to him. Jayalalitha's threats emanated allegedly from supporters of Union Minister Alagiri, who claims to be opposed to her upcoming rally in their Madurai bastion. And predictably, the threat to Mr. Karunanidhi is allegedly from an Amma loyalist. The email says, "I did not like you fighting with our Jayalalitha madam, so sorry, we don't want you to live. 3 of her people are there inside your circle and bombs will be planted in your car."
We have given that letter to the CCB, they are taking up an investigation for that case.
All along, the cops have had to deal with bomb hoax callers. Now, it's perhaps a new breed of political party workers out to get even with the force of their leaders. In Chennai, with Salim Ramanathan for NDTV Hindu.
Now, it's one of Chief Minister Karunanidhi's pet projects, and the ruling DMK is going all out to form the Legislative Council 26 years after it was abolished. But the opposition is trying to throw a judicial spoke in the wheel. Our senior correspondent Peer Muhammad looks at the road ahead.
This old legislators' hostel near the new secretariat is being demolished at a record pace. It is to make way for the new quarters to house the 78 members of the Legislative Council. The process to hold elections to that body are underway. But at least 4 cases in the Madras High Court question the haste shown by the ruling dispensation to constitute this council.
The Assembly has to elect 1/3 of the total strength of the Legislative Council. And those members, the present MLA's term will be over in another few months. There's no urgency.
The opposition AIADMK has opposed the way constituencies of local authorities, graduates and teachers were determined during the two all-party meets conducted by the Election Commission. But the process of getting the final electoral rolls ready by December this year has been kick-started. The apprehension in Amma's camp is that the DMK may offer its ally the Congress seats in the council ahead of the assembly polls. And this comes at a time when Ms. Jayalalitha has made overtures to the Congress High Command.
By conducting this legislative council election, the people are not going to be immediately benefited. The beneficiaries are going to be the ruling government as well as the ruling alliance. So only they are hurrying the process. So we want this process to be exhaustively planned, and we want the election to be conducted after the new assembly elections.
Work is in full swing to form the Legislative Council ahead of the 2011 Assembly elections. But the opposition-backed parties have moved the Madras High Court to stop the process. In a week's time, we will be knowing if the government is successful in its efforts. In Chennai, Peer Mohammed, NDTV Hindu.
And former Chief Electoral Officer Naresh Gupta and political analyst Jnani joined us on a discussion on that story. While a lack of consultation may be debated, there is quite a task ahead of the election.
Actually, the formation of the Legislative Council involves a very facile procedure. It's a very simple procedure in the sense that the Assembly passes a resolution and then the Parliament enacts a law. It's the same procedure applies whether it's for abolition or creation of the council. So in the past, the council was there in Tamil Nadu, then it was abolished. Similarly, in Andhra Pradesh also, there was a legislative council, it was abolished. So the procedure involved is very simple, and therefore it is possible that political considerations may enter into whether it is for creation of the council or it is for abolition.
Particularly in the last 26 years, our polity has changed, our civil society has changed. The last 26 years since MBR abolished the council.
Yes.
We have a huge NGO sector which is really doing a lot of work at the ground level when the government fails. So which means this NGO sector has no representation now. There is no constituency allocated for them. So we should have consulted NGOs about what kind of changes they would like to have. So an open people's forum should have been called for. And a discussion held with various representatives of different organizations, different segments of our society.
So when
for example, student community, where is the representation for the student community?
Right.
Now it is a huge one.
Now, if you're a parent shelling out thousands of rupees for your child's education month after month, you'd probably agree that collecting excess fee should be a criminal offence. A group of agitated parents today actually went ahead and filed criminal charges of cheating, threatening and defamation against CSI Bain School, which they allege has not stuck to the prescribed school fee even after the recent Madras High Court verdict upholding the Govindarajan Committee recommendations. Minal Shah brings you this report.
Angry protests by agitated parents across the city over the past month pressurized the government into action. The result, a battle won at the Madras High Court. But despite the order upholding the Govindarajan Committee's revised fee structure, several parents have not got any relief yet. Now, into the second term of the academic year, private schools show no signs of sticking to the fee structure. Driven to the wall, parents have now slapped a police complaint of cheating, threatening and defamation against the CSI Bain School.
They have cheated our money. Moreover, they are making threats to the parents as well as the students. And the third thing is, they are using their, by using their school watchman, they are using filthy words, they are abusing the parents. It's definitely contempt of court.
Parents say that the private schools have not complied with the court's verdict. They have neither collected the excess fees as deposit, nor have they displayed the fee structure on the school notice board. But determined parents say that they are ready to go to any length for the future of their children.
When we contacted the school authorities, they refused to comment on this issue and the police say they will look into the matter. But parents feel with no stringent mechanism to implement the recommended fee structure, they will have to keep resorting to these measures to wear the private schools down. In Chennai, Minal, NDTV Hindu.
Now, calling Sri Lanka's President Mahinda Rajapaksa as the special guest at the valedictory ceremony of the Commonwealth Games in Delhi has not gone down too well with the MDMK's Vaiko. Condemning the invite, the General Secretary of the party said it was an attempt to give him the legitimacy at a time when the European Union and international communities have condemned the war crimes led by Rajapaksa's regime. Vaiko also went on to say that it was an insult to the 7 crore Tamil population in Tamil Nadu. Well, the Chief Minister Karunanidhi has announced that TASMAC employees will be given 20% bonus this year. This comes at a time when TASMAC employees staged a statewide protest today, demanding bonuses and various other issues. The Tamil Nadu government has said that this bonus will affect nearly 30,000 of the employees in the state. Now, the striking workers at the Neyveli Lignite Corporation have now gained support from a very new voice. It's none other than that of the main opposition leader, Ms. J. Jayalalitha, who's come forward today saying she supported the demands of the workers and charged the DMK regime to be anti-labour. She said that if the Chief Minister was actually interested in the welfare of the workers, he could have taken it up with the UPA chairperson, Ms. Sonia Gandhi, when he met her a few days back.
பிரச்சனையை சுமூகமாக பேசி தீர்ப்பதற்கு பதிலாக தோமுசாவோடு சொற்ப ரூபாயாக அற்பத்தனமாக செய்து கொண்ட உடன்பாட்டை NLC தொழிலாளர்கள் எதிர்க்கிறார்கள், ஏற்றுக்கொள்ளவில்லை. எனவேதான் போராட்டம் தீவிரமடைந்திருக்கிறது. வேலைநிறுத்தம் தொடர்கிறது. வேலைநிறுத்தத்தை தவிர இதர போராட்டங்களையும் திட்டமிட்டபடி தொழிற்சங்கங்கள் அறிவித்திருக்கின்றன. தனித்தனியாக போராடி கொண்டிருக்கிற தொழிற்சங்கங்கள் ஒப்பந்தத்துறை நலன் கருதி ஒருங்கிணைந்து போராட முடிவு எடுத்திருக்கிறோம். இந்த போராட்டங்களுக்கு ஆதரவாக, ஒப்பந்த தொழிலாளிக்கு ஆதரவாக கடலூர் மாவட்டத்தில் வருகிற 13ஆம் தேதி அனைத்து அரசியல் கட்சிகளும் பங்கேற்கக்கூடிய எழுச்சிமிகு பிரம்மாண்டமான கண்டன பேரணியும் பொதுக்கூட்டமும் நடைபெறவிருக்கிறது.
Well, plenty more news and updates coming your way on the Late Night News. Do stay with us.